mean, there you go. You've done it in every single one of these things.
We have in studio, CJ. Who is it?
This is Chris. He lives down the street from me and plays guitar in a band. We'll ask him a bit about what band he plays in and all that in a bit. We're excited to have him here.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Thanks for coming by, Chris.
I told him I was excited to have him in studio before even seeing him. He's like, I just haven't walked in the door yet.
Well, thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
Fucking A.
It's awesome.
Yeah, always welcome.
Did you grow up around here? Are you a Baltimore boy? Did you?
Yeah, yes and no. So I was born here, Franklin Square Hospital, 1973.
Oh, right on.
73.
Yeah.
So you're a young chap.
Yes.
Compared to most of the people we've had on this show, yeah.
I tell you what, there are some old people that are listening, so we don't want to offend too many people.
No. Grew up mainly in Virginia. Northern Virginia.
Okay, near D.C.?
Yeah, well, Leesburg, Sterling.
Okay.
In that area.
The countryer side of Northern Virginia.
Yeah. Leesburg. I spent a lot of time in Leesburg. Very, very historic town.
Did you start playing music in Virginia?
Yeah, well, I did. I absolutely did. So, as a kid, I was there in Virginia, and I played in my father was a minister, so I played in his church for a while. And then I would just experiment on the guitar and drums, all that kind of thing back then. Then ended up moving back to Maryland for a while, but long story short, came back to Virginia, and that's when I started the musical thing of playing in bands and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Do you still play drums too, or are you focused mostly on?
That was years ago.
Okay. Dan here's a drummer.
I am a drummer.
Yeah, he'd love to tell you about it.
I am a drummer.
Mm-hmm.
I play a Pearl Sessions studio kit. Mahogany and birch.
Let me ask you, favorite drummer? Go.
Carter Beaufort.
Oh, good.
Yep. Right.
Carter Beaufort.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you're right. You're talking. Yeah, okay.
I know every hit, every note. I can play every note, every hit. I'm actually the best person you could meet if you're in a Dave Matthews cover band.
Yeah.
I can.
He's like, fire your drummer right now. I'm just kidding.
I mean, I'm not saying that I am as good as Dave Matthews.
No,
or
I'm not.
As Carter Beaufort.
Carter Beaufort. You shouldn't, because he's amazing.
He's amazing. He's phenomenal. But I could fill his shoes for a little bit, So I know all the notes. And
might get tired
songs.
after half an hour or two
songs.
songs.
I can hold. I used to be in the heavy metal hardcore band. We'd play like 3-4 hours.
I'm a huge Neil Peart fan.
Fucking A, go Rush.
And Mike Portnoy.
Yeah, Mike Portnoy's. He's back in Dream Theater.
Don't leave it, man. Yeah. We could go on for hours about that. Trust.
CJ, what do you play?
I play nothing. I play video games sometimes.
I gave CJ a drum lesson. I thought you were supposed to say on the drum lesson. I thought I was going to say you now can say you're a drummer because you've sat at my set.
I've sat at the set twice and I banged out some noise.
We worked on
I don't think there was
stuff.
I don't think there was much timing involved in it, so I don't think I could call myself a drummer.
You beat on something, it still counts.
Well, I've been doing that for years.
So to recap, Chris, I'm coming back into the Dave Matthews Band.
Sure.
What do you call your band?
We're called the Matthews Dave Band.
That was what I texted my friend because that's what CJ said, and I think it's weird typing that on the phone first because you're so used to.
Feels backwards.
I mean, that band has been going. You probably said this, but how long has the band?
Most recently, it's been a full band, whereas the past several years, it's been just a duo or a trio.
What's full? How many?
Full, about 5 people.
Okay.
You're missing the drummer, right?
What's that?
You're missing the drummer?
No. But you got to come see us and hear our drummer. He's great.
I'm sure he's amazing.
I would actually like to. Do you have anything coming up soon?
April 19th is still in Timonium.
Okay.
Chris, you're a rock star, right?
Well, I mean, in my own mind.
Yeah, of course. We're all rock stars. It's no different playing. I mean, I'm sure it's way different because I've never played in front of like incredibly, stadiums like what I saw with Pantera. I've played arenas and stuff, but they were not packed like they were.
Yeah.
What's the largest group, Dan, that you have played in front of? 1,000?
600.
Okay, under 1,000.
Yeah, under 1,000.
Gotcha.
And that's enough.
That's still a lot of fucking people.
I like to be able to see the people and the eyeballs.
Not just a mass of folks.
A mass of just steam coming off of it. It's incredible when you see that. But like where I was going. So I was saying you're a rock star. So how much by poundage, or you can go by metric weight, how much crack do you guys use? Like heroin crack and all the drugs. Like
we get a truck that pulls
a
up.
truck. I was going to say a trailer. I thought, it's a tour bus. That's the thing behind the tour bus.
We've never done. I mean, in all my life that I've played music, I've drugs are never a part of it.
It's never a part of mine.
No.
It is. We talked about that.
I think
how
most
can't drink.
everyone in this room has stayed away from the hard stuff anyway.
Yeah, but I was thinking of Guns N' Roses. Axl.
Oh yeah, well there's also something that's called money.
Yeah.
You
need
need
that.
money for that. shit.
Money and
does
no
help, I'm
worries
sure.
of repercussion. No one telling you no.
That's the
and-
thing. They think they have no worries of repercussions.
Well, eventually it
and
catches
then we
up
see
to
them on the news.
yeah. But yeah, I did. That wasn't my thing. It was. We drank and that kind of thing.
I'm going to replug your show. The Still. It's
the still
at 19th.
The unpointed still.
on point and still,
On
but
Point and
people
Still.
just call it the still. If
Yeah.
you Google that, right on Timonium Road, right diagonal from the fairgrounds, next to Expectations.
And this is 2024. So if it's April, don't think next year.
April 19,
I-
2024.
2024.
I'll have to make 2 episodes and release the second one. I'm not doing all that crap. Sorry, guys. Can I crowd surf?
Yeah, well, you can try.
Thump. Right on the ground.
It's gonna be that big of a.
I tell you what, if I do, or when I come, because I'm going to be there.
Yeah, we play there once a month, so
I might be
there's
on vacation that
plenty,
week. I don't
plenty
know.
of times.
Okay, because I sit down for a song.
Can you sit in for a song?
Yeah, sit in for one song.
could
And
ask,
smart.
sure.
See, when I talk to the other drummers and other bands, and I've filled in for a lot of people, I give the drummers my phone number. Say, look, if you need a day off, here's my number. Because I can just sit down and just fill in. I've shown
He's
up.
that good.
Well, no, most drummers can, but that know the songs and that your stuff. If you're doing, all of the. Are you doing like the
We do a mixture
spoon
of
and
things.
stuff,
We
or
do
like
a mixture of things. We don't do just exclusively Dave Matthews, but we do him and that genre, and
Gin Blossoms?
we've done Gin Blossoms before.
Who sings "Hey Little Thing Lemon Like Chicken"?
That's the Black Crows.
We
That's
don't
the
do
Black
that
Crows.
one.
No, that's a
But
good
I've
one.
done that in other bands. I mean, I've been playing all my life in bands, so I mean, there's always tunes, classic rock tunes and things of that nature. But,
Yeah.
Old standards.
yeah, old standards. Your brown-eyed girls, and
The ladies love it when you
I
play that shit.
hate that song.
But the ladies love it.
Oh
You
my
see them all
God.
come out and dance.
But what I usually say when people say, can you play Brown Eyed Girl? I'm like, well, there's a tip jar.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I mean, heck, if we see a 20 go in there,
So-
we're doing.
That's a $20 song.
That's a $20 song.
So the guy out there yelling "Free bird."
That's $100.
That's a fine. The jar turns into a fine
That's
jar.
every band member gets a 20.
Right? And I need an extra guitar player to come up here too.
Oh, yeah.
So what is the what is the makeup of the band? What are the instruments anyway?
So there's Matt, who's the leader. So he calls it. When he introduces himself, I'm Matthew. This is my Dave Band.
Okay, it's Matthews.
He started the whole thing. It's his group, and then we have myself playing lead guitar. He plays acoustic guitar. Then I have a keyboard player, a drummer, and a bass player for now. And we're hoping to extend more on
Trying to get that fiddle player in.
No, I will not do fiddle. I will not have a fiddle player.
Fiddle player costs too much trouble for the actual Dave Matthews Band, so we don't want one in ours either.
And I do a lot.
I've been in a band with a fiddle. It was phenomenal. I mean, 16th since. I'm doing drum rolls while they're going up and down the scales. Like you can't get that with it. A guitar is not as crisp and clear. They're going note, all the spaces in between.
Yeah, the fiddle slides.
Yeah, it's just like pop, 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 pop. So it's very rhythmic.
Yeah.
The fiddles.
We're working towards in the future adding some horns, that kind of thing. A lot of it's a real niche type thing. So you can't just play anywhere and expect to be liked.
But Towson and Cockeysville area.
That's a great place.
It's a good
for
draw.
It. It's a great place for
Yeah.
it. Yeah, a town all up and down Towson, Cockeysville, that kind of area.
I have some questions for
Sure,
you,
please.
and I don't want you to be able to see them because some of them are.
Well, I can't
Surprise.
This is so you're labeled as a Dave Matthews tribute kind of something.
say- Well, cover
Like,
really.
Yeah. Okay. So
Tribute is when
Matthews Dave Band.
Yeah.
Matthews Dave.
Matthews Dave.
Okay. Matthews Dave Band. Okay.
Just flip it.
So how well are you versed in Dave Matthews trivia?
Not great.
Okay.
Matt, our leader, he's the Matthews Dave head. You know what I'm
That
saying?
makes sense, so that his name is
he's
Matt, yeah.
I was just hired to play with. So before that, I've played a lot of Dave Matthews stuff in the past, but never this much.
Okay, so you come into my studio as a Dave Matthews expert, and you're going to pretend like you're not an expert.
I never once said I was an expert.
Yeah, we didn't know what we're going to get. So I should have written 3 sets of questions. These are pretty detailed. I'm going to see if you. Let's start
Matt
off.
would be better at this.
What was Dave Matthews' military specialty when he was?
Shit.
He was in the military?
He was in the military.
Right? With you,
Okay,
bro.
well, let's go with this. He was in the Marine Corps.
Okay.
I thought he was from South Africa.
I don't. That's not on my list.
I didn't think he could be in
South
the
Africa.
Marine.
Why would you think it's South Africa?
He's from fucking. Look that up.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
He's from South Africa.
Okay.
All right, but he may have been like an army brat or something, born in
Yeah, I was
South
gonna say
Africa.
he
Yeah.
probably
But
started out here.
I know he started really.
Was it Chicago?
Yeah, no, Virginia.
Virginia. That's
he got
right,
big in
Virginia.
Virginia.
I sound like an idiot now. I don't care. Okay, so what was the first instrument that he attempted? Imagine it's a string instrument.
I mean, not guitar, I guess. Is that a
The
trick question?
oboe.
The banjo.
Shit, I was so close.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean he has a lot of like think up. He's finger picking a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think he ever mastered. I'm sure he has now, but like in the very beginning, he went to guitar. Favorite soda. I got this one for you, CJ. Favorite soda. You know the last podcast, you nailed it.
I'm gonna go with Dr. Pepper.
No,
again.
come on, you can't. Whose soda was that? That was
The
The
oldest.
oldest soda was
soda.
Dr. Pepper. Okay, so Dave Matthews' favorite soda is Pepsi.
How lame.
I don't think you're
Sorry.
winning a T-shirt today, Chris.
Well, again,
What is okay? How about this one? You guys have seen Dave Matthews. You've seen him play.
TV. I've never seen him
TV,
live
yeah.
myself.
Okay. Well, tight pants that he wears on stage. What color is he known to wear? Tight pants, tight jeans. Really,
I'm gonna go with white so he can show off his
I'm gonna go with black.
his
Yellow.
Yellow.
You guys. Okay, so I'm running out of questions. Dave studied what art with Bill Schott, Chott. I'll just give it to you 'cause this is painful.
Pointillism.
You have to have a guess. You could say anything.
Art, painting.
That would be amazing if it was really that.
Yes.
No, it's improv.
Oh,
So
okay.
he studied improv. No.
Yeah, so I feel kind of bad because I'm not really a Dave expert.
Oh, no, that's why it's the best. I'm going to keep hammering you with Dave Matthews.
the leader of the group. He's the guy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, this is an easy one. Okay, for 5 years, what did Dave Matthews study language-wise? Come on, there's only like 2.
2 languages?
I mean, what were your choices?
Spanish or French.
Okay, that's what you have to choose from.
I would say Spanish.
I'm gonna
You're the
go
worst. Yeah, how are
French.
you in the Dave Matthews Band?
Shut up, Dad.
This
This
is
is
great.
a recent thing. I didn't know I was going to be.
All right.
all about the Matthews
So,
stuff
how about
today.
this? How about this? I got some questions just for you that have nothing to do with Dave Matthews Band.
Good.
Okay.
Might be a
So
little easier to deal with.
there's generally another guy here.
Okay.
It's me and Nick, and I don't know where Nick went.
That's Nick.
That's
over
Nick.
there.
Oh, we need a picture. We need to draw a Nick. You're what other instruments you know? Guitar.
Guitar has been my main instrument. When I was a teenager, I did drums. When I was younger, real younger, I started out on piano. But
learning the notes.
So how well do you know piano? Like if I needed you to come in and give me like a.
I mean, I don't read music.
But yeah, I got that little Ikai keyboard up there.
Oh, nice.
We were supposed to have
Get some jingles done on that.
we were supposed to have a pianist come in.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, if you could only imagine how many penis jokes we had.
Oh, I'm sure.
No, it was like 40 of them, and we tried to use a few in the show, but the guy never showed up, so it was like
We did use one.
we did, yeah,
About a 12-inch pianist.
yes, it's good. We can't, not worth saying again because I think we did say it twice. But so, do you have a backup drummer?
Yes.
Well, I know. I'm reading it off the card.
No, I do not have one.
Okay, I might know one.
Okay.
He
And
might.
he plays the same for the same price that your drummer plays.
Mm-hmm.
It's whatever-
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Maybe even $1 or $2 less.
I couldn't. What? CJ, worst negotiator ever.
Well, I hope that
Where's my Nick? This is ridiculous.
I hope that one day you can meet Matt and ask him some Dave questions and some music questions.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because like I said,
I'll
that
see
could be
him on the
that could be
19th.
your introduction into being a backup or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I mean, I'm not worried about it.
I'm saying you never know.
We
dude.
could have Matt by on another show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nick.
Yeah.
Hello, thank you for introducing me, Chris.
Yeah. Can you ever louder? Is it? You want it louder?
Yeah,
Okay. Nick, welcome to the studio.
thank you.
2 celebrities in the house.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we've kind of met. Yeah.
Okay.
Ice cream.
I was like, you look super familiar, but I was like, I didn't want to assume anything.
Yeah, right.
But
Ice Cream Man used to come by during the summer, and we were.
Yeah.
That was my favorite thing. And he stopped, and then I was really upset.
I saw the ice cream man come through here like 3 days ago. So
What?
He's still coming around.
I used to have a problem with that. Like the song, do-do-da-da-do-da,
See,
but you
it's-
get used to it.
No.
It's okay except for like when he just sits there and there's nobody.
Yeah,
at
there's
his
nobody.
van.
He's just sitting there.
Well,
with
what's
move it
not
on.
okay is when he comes on a regular basis and then stops.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Daddy needs his poison. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are you doing?
he stops coming.
It's not. Yeah.
What'd you
You're
go
like,
to ice cream
it's
from the truck?
2:15.
Swirl.
Where the hell is he?
Swirl with sprinkles.
Swirl with sprinkles. Oh,
Swirl.
damn right. I want
Were you
them
aware that
sprinkles,
I
too.
work for an ice cream company?
I am now.
Yeah,
But he ain't bringing you soft serve.
yeah. It's not self serve. It's Have you ever heard of mini melts?
I have not.
Uh,
Wait. No. I haven't.
7-Elevens and Wawas. You go
Okay.
like if you go into a Wawa, it's normally near the front of the checkout. It's like a
Mhm.
freezer. It's probably about 3 feet,
Okay.
4 feet tall, and it's about 2.5 feet wide.
All right.
But you know what Dippin' Dots are?
Yes.
It's the very, very better version of that.
I've
It
never
has
had it.
more buttermilk in it, right?
4% higher butterfat.
That's what
That's where the taste
I can grab you one after we're done. I have some at home.
Yeah, my favorite
He does
thing.
have a whole deep,
He has got a whole truck full
a
of
deep
them.
freezer.
Yeah.
Chris is in the Matthews Dave Band.
Dave Matthews Band?
No.
Or Matthews Dave Band.
Don't screw that up. Copyright.
sorry.
Yeah,
Copyright.
copyright.
Oh my God. Holy crap.
Gonna get in trouble.
Start over. Hit
Can't
the
even
record.
say their name.
David Matthews.
Yeah.
The other way around.
Matthews Dave Band, and
Okay.
they don't just play Dave Matthews. They play other stuff too. But one of the specialties that they do is Dave Matthews Band.
Someone, yeah.
So,
Okay.
have you played some song? Did Matthew of the Matthews Dave Band get you into some songs that you weren't into before, or do you still are like
'cause
whatever on Dave?
He's
You
not
just
original.
play it.
He's not original. He's
I was more of I used to do 41 a lot,
Good song.
which back in the day when I was gigging in Virginia.
In other news, I passed out and had a small seizure again yesterday.
Did your dog bite you?
No,
His fingers. Your
another
poor fingers.
finger? Oh
Your
my
poor
God.
fingers.
it's my right hand this time.
I did get a picture of
You
this.
just switched it up.
It was a good one. There was a good chunk out of it. Would you put it in the blender?
I did send it to you?
Yeah, I saw. it.
Okay, so
I didn't want to be the one to bring it up.
we just got over 300 freezers just delivered to us, and this one wire that I had to yank out of its little Heidi tube hole had like a tiny little
Heidi.
yeah
Heidi tube hole.
It's up there.
Yeah.
You got to really.
it's like right up under the teat.
That's one thing I like about the podcast is we have all these weird things that we end up.
It had like a tiny little bit of like caulk / putty, something to keep it still because it's not supposed to come out.
Mhm.
And it had like a little bulb on the end of it. And when I was going to yank it, it wouldn't budge. So I got a real good grip on it and started like pulling down real hard. And, it gave way and my finger slammed. I basically punched it basically shaved the skin off the knuckle of my index
So
finger.
it didn't go like perpendicular into it. It kind of shaved
No,
it.
my hand was like
along.
I passed out.
It's not on
after-
video. He's not.
No, there's no cameras in the office,
Oh.
the office area, because there's nothing.
I don't want to
important
see
there.
you pass out, but I wanted to see how quickly it was.
He wanted
from-
to see him.
It was
pass
about
out.
2.5 minutes. No, it was about
diagnostic.
3 to 5 minutes after the fact.
I mean,
So it could have been. You could have lost a finger if it went the other way.
I can only bend it that much without it starting to hurt, which is about maybe a 90-degree bend. I can't completely close my fist. I look at it, and as water's hitting the skin, you just see the blood shooting out the sides. And it's
as
watery
it runs
blood. Yeah.
faster, and
Well, you can see
pink
the exit.
swirl.
Yep.
You can see the exit hole.
You couldn't see the exit because there was a flap of skin covering it.
Okay.
Oh, gross.
All
Yeah.
right, we don't want people vomiting. It's bad enough CJ and his pineapple.
So after I feel comfortable enough that I've rinsed it enough, I asked my coworker to give me a napkin. After sitting down for about a minute or two, I'm sitting there talking. I have my regional manager right to my left. I'm starting to see black spots,
Oh,
and
no.
then
Oh, she
then
stars it all.
Kind of a fade coming from the outside.
not a fade. It kind of seemed like a fade from the center that went out. But the weird thing is I wasn't this time. I wasn't conscious when I was convulsing, but I felt it the last time. I was conscious in a way to where I couldn't tell what was happening, but I was in my head.
Right.
This time I wasn't in my head, but I could feel myself shaking, and I couldn't stop it.
Couldn't do it right.
I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you had that. That's crazy.
It sounds shitty.
So, if anybody can comment on us on the YouTube videos or something, that's a great way to get a hold of us. Any one of the videos.
I mean, there's a good chance you lost about a pint of blood during all that washout.
I don't know if it was I wouldn't say a pint, but it
doesn't
was
take
a
that
decent
much
amount.
to spread. That's a lot of. So anyway, Nick's passing out after he gets bitten on his hand and stuff like that. And it's kind of weird, and we don't want that to happen. So, is it his blood sugar? Is it his? Do they have oxygen in the place? You ought to sue your company. That's what you should do. We need money. We need money.
This took it.
Yeah, what? Too heavy, right? Too hardcore. So, have you ever passed out from blood, Chris?
No, I have not.
Okay. Have you ever passed out at all?
To my knowledge, no.
Okay, I haven't. I've never. That's the thing. It's not normal, Nick.
It's called a syncope, according to a quick Google search. Commonly referred to as passing out or fainting, often results from a drop in blood pressure. Seizures, on the other hand, are caused by abnormal activity, maybe epilepsy, stroke, cancer, or an infection of the brain.
I mean, that's very broad. And I would say go to a doctor. I think you should need to go to a doctor.
Did you end up going to a doctor for this one?
I did not.
No,
but
not
it technically would have been covered under
workman's comp.
Yeah, workers'
I have to
comp,
hide all
so-
the sharp objects around the house now.
Yeah, I just gotta. If I decide to go, I just gotta let them know when it happened. I mean, I have it on fucking video, so
Right.
Yeah.
It's like you can see what happened here.
yeah. And my regional, he was like, this is the time you would go, and we will absolutely do everything we can to get you covered.
Right. So you don't
Yeah.
sue us, like Dan said to do.
Oh yeah, I mean lawsuit.
So the crazy thing is I was wearing some thick gloves, and it went through the glove. Like I have the glove at the warehouse still. I mean,
And that's
a knife, right?
Oh, just cut in half
it's
across.
on the index finger. It's just a slice right across where my finger was.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
going to play devil's advocate. The move you were doing in the video, is that a standard move that you're supposed to do? You were like lifting something with your feet. You were leaning back, pushing up, and then right?
No, that's just how I do it.
Okay.
But it wouldn't have
I'm
changed.
just saying, don't do that. That was awful. Yeah, I'm like,
don't do
whoa!
that.
It was
But
like
the
one of
thing
those
is-
hard hat videos you see on the YouTube Shorts, where the
Even-
guy's just like looking at stuff happening. He's like, oh my god! Like
Even if I was doing it the quote unquote proper way, which is having the freezer on a table and I'm kind of standing there, the same thing was going to happen where I grabbed and where I pulled. That
Yeah.
doesn't change.
it was under tension and it released.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. We've all make not even mistakes. That's just shit happens.
Physics.
What was the metal piece that got you? Is it like a side of
The
the table
frame,
or
the
something?
frame.
Oh, the frame of the.
The
grate.
sheet
So,
metal that's
it's a
made of,
grate.
it sounds like.
There's a grate that normally sits there, and then what we had to do was we had to take the grate off, mess inside of it, and it was the inside of the grate that you like kind of screw into. So it was like real thin, like sheet metal.
Gotcha.
Aaron Top was actually a good comedian. I just
Yeah.
his
He
mark.
was a prop comedian, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yes, he was really good,
Yes.
and he just looks odd. And I
He
feel
looks
like
even odder now.
his market plan was horseshit and has never really been in line with.
He got treated like Nickelback, I feel like, in the sense of everybody just started hating him for no real reason.
Overplayed,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So it's
Like-
like, I'm tired
like
of your
Fred,
stuff.
like Fred Durst.
Yeah. Oh, I don't.
I used to hate Fred
Durst?
Durst.
I'll
whatever.
tell you.
You look kind of like Fred Durst.
Thanks. I used to hate that. I used to hate him because I was jealous. I
I'll
was
tell
just.
you what. I love me some Limp
I
Bizkit.
do.
love
Chocolate
it.
Starfish and hot dog
Chocolate
flavored
flavored
water.
water,
It's
yeah.
an amazing
I can-
album.
I can-
$3 bill, y'all.
Every time I think about Limp
Break stuff.
Bizkit, I think of the Eminem diss track.
Do you sing?
I can.
I'm not going to make you sing them.
You drank tea.
I drink tea and I
Ready
can
to
sing
go.
if needed.
Do you do backup vocals for
Yeah.
the band?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And Nick, he's playing on the 19th at the Still on Timonium Road.
Timonium Road.
Right across from High Tops.
That's right near the fairgrounds.
Literally right next door to Expectations.
Is that a strip club?
That is not a strip club.
Sounds like a
Sounds
strip
like
club.
a strip club.
Not. It's,
mean-
no. Listen, it's egg.
Oh, it's.
Expectations.
I was about to say it's egg
heck?
expectation.
Egg.
It's an egg
expecta-
place.
Not X.
It's just a
Like
breakfast joint.
place, yeah.
You just go there and a bunch of chickens.
brunch. Yeah. Right. They got great. Not to plug them, but they got great brunch.
Why
we've
isn't
been
there a
plugging lot of good-
brunch/strip club? I feel like that's something.
well,
Who wants to
I-
open up a
that's-
business?
Let's start it.
We have dirty, gross
I'm sorry.
strip
Did you
clubs
say
in
Houston
Maryland.
and Atlanta?
Yeah.
I wouldn't eat at a strip club.
I wouldn't either, but like I seen a bunch of like rappers back in the day, like, yo, the best wings are at this strip club in Houston or this strip club in Atlanta.
I mean, I'd be okay with eating there.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
was mainly Rick Ross that I saw.
I mean,
But,
wings.
you know,
I'll
you
eat
gotta
wing. I'll eat a
expect it.
wing just about anywhere.
Rick Ross.
You said there was what 50 cent? No, it was free wings and 50-cent beer.
Well, that wasn't at a strip club, but yes,
was at sports.
I had that at sports, and I ate those free
50-cent
wings.
beer.
Well, I mean, if you're at a place,
The 50-cent beer really washes them down good.
Well, I think the idea of that was a hotel also.
It was.
So, it's really.
They're making their money back on the room.
But
Well,
I think they were separate entities. Like the bar was in the hotel. Like the bar, it's not there anymore, and the hotel's still there. It's garbage.
What is it? I mean,
It's a Days
you
Inn.
can still stay there.
It's a Days Inn. I think it's rated at 2.1. If you'd like to stay,
Is it?
at
Are you
it.
talking about stars?
Yeah, 2.1
Okay,
stars.
So it's funny.
The one
the
right
stars.
up the road.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the
I,
worst.
I don't.
I think it's rated lower than the Welcome Inn across from
Yeah.
it, which is fucking scary.
Yeah, that's sketchy shit.
I'm going to hopefully teach something here. So a star rating for a hotel has nothing to do with whether they're good or bad.
No. I'm not talking about it's a 2-star hotel. I'm
Okay.
talking a Google review.
Oh, that's
2.1.
bad.
This
Yeah,
thing is
like
just
Yelp.
full
that's
of
bad.
roaches and bed bugs.
Yeah, I wanted to
Oh.
specify that
No.
we were all on the same page.
No, I understand the
Sign
difference
me
between
up.
a 3-star hotel.
Yeah, because like a
or-
3-star, you get they serve a certain amount of continentals.
No, these are
4-star, they don't do your laundry, but you can get dinner. A 5-star, you can get everything or whatever.
There is not a worthwhile hotel within 2 miles of us. We got the Welcome Inn, we got that Days Inn,
Well,
and we got
isn't
the
there
the,
Hilton
the,
and
the,
White Marsh?
the Towson East. Is that 2 miles from here?
I don't know.
the
If
Towson.
you-
Oh, that
As-
one's sketchy.
as
as
Is
shit.
that the
crow
one with the
flies.
round beds?
Round beds and jacuzzis.
Not that I know, but I've heard from friends.
I think as a young man, 18, 19, I used to hang with a bunch of hoodlums around this neighborhood, and we would go to the Welcome Inn in Towson East and rent a room for the night just to party and wreck it, pretty much, because they would take cash. So you give them $100, and you got a room for the night to
Nice.
get as
Sure,
debaucherous
some
as you
strange
like.
goings on.
if those walls could talk.
Oh, jeez.
It was just a bunch of teenagers getting drunk and fucking. It was
Yeah.
kind of gross.
Over in Elkridge, there is the Tip Top Motel, the Exec Motel, and then there's one more right across the street. I can't remember, but I knew somebody who used to have to stay there, not because they, wanted to, but because that was their financial,
Right.
limit.
Yeah, that's where they are. I got myself $50 a week or whatever it is.
And, I would go over there and hang out with them, and just seeing the crowds of people that come in at those places, it's, the women.
I just wouldn't want to lay my head down.
the hookers.
Yeah, the men.
Those pillows, you might have a new case on them, but that doesn't mean the case was on it, when the last person used it.
I wouldn't trust it.
No.
I don't. I mean, I don't know. I stayed in hotels for like 3 months in Virginia. When I went out at Great Bridge, Virginia, to run a
Nice
store.
hotels or dirty, gross hotels like this?
Well, so I started off at the was called Great something. It was like the Hilton kind of. They give you a really good room, like the corporation. They were like, yeah, we'll set you up for like 3 or 4 weeks, let you get settled in, and you bring your wife out there, and it's all perfect. And she's like, this is so nice. And then like the 4th week comes, and they're like, okay, you're on your own. Go find a hotel, and you're like, no, what? I have to move out of this one? This one was so nice.
And the one you find
yes.
is the
So
Welcome Inn.
The one it wasn't the Welcome Inn, but it's a Great Bridge, Virginia. It was all pretty good stuff, but generally I stayed at an extended stay hotel.
Okay.
And like there's
They usually
chairs.
you usually get a kitchenette.
You
in
get a little
those, right?
kitchenette,
Yeah.
but everything sucks. I remember I wrote
Everything sucks.
the tables are not big enough to use. So like they're just small enough to be like, this really sucks. The chairs are just comfortable enough to only sit in for like a half hour. Everything was just, the bed was like, this is good for like a week or two. Like they don't want you staying forever.
TV only got 4 channels.
Yeah, the TV. It was just, it was an uncomfortable but medium place. Sort of like not the good place, but the medium place.
Okay. I love that show, by the way. If you haven't seen it.
Great show.
You
The
should.
medium, the good place.
The Good
we're referring
Place
to.
is the name.
You watch,
Oh.
Chris, do you watch TV?
Well, I don't have cable, but I stream everything.
Yeah, Netflix.
Yeah.
Good places on that. What are you watching?
Well, I've recently been watching on Hulu Shogun.
Anybody? Shogun?
That looks really
It
good.
I
is
haven't watched
awesome.
it yet.
I haven't
but
seen it.
I don't
Awesome.
have Hulu. That's my only streaming service I don't
my
have.
Gosh, it is so good. So good. So I've been really into that.
What's it about?
Well, it's based
Strippers?
off
Strippers,
It's
right?
not. No. Although there is some nudity.
It's about a Ronin. Is it not about a Ronin? Is it?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So, well, it's based off an old book called Shogun, real thick. I have it. It's massive.
Okay.
Couldn't get through it. But then they made a movie. I guess it was in the '80s with Richard Chamberlain, who was I'm acting.
Oh, John Lovitz.
Get to know me.
Just awesome. Him on The Wedding Singer.
Julia Gulia.
Julia Golia. I just saw that. It's on YouTube right now. If you have YouTube, if you pay for the premium service, you can.
I do pay for the premium service,
so just to get rid of the commercials.
It's more so I can listen to music without having to. Like I like to listen to full concerts on YouTube.
Yeah,
but
no, I've had Thursdays and Fridays like that.
They will put a fucking commercial in the middle of a song.
Yeah,
like
they don't
drop
care.
you.
They
Right
just boom, hit you.
What was that we were watching in your backyard?
We were watching
Disco Biscuits?
Nugs.net, and it was
Disco Biscuits.
It was the Disco Biscuits.
Right.
What did you think of the Disco Biscuits?
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I was being made fun of by at least
I
one
wouldn't
of
say
these
made
two
fun
guys.
of.
I think it was mostly
so
Dan.
I was trying to put Disco Biscuits behind. I was going to make some stuff that sounded like them, but I don't.
Nothing sounds like
I
them.
don't want to sound that bad. Like I don't want to. That's not my music. But no, they were good. I'm sure they're amazing. But that was I put it on the Google speaker. And I'm doing housework, I'm like, I go downstairs, put a load of laundry and something, wash something up. I come upstairs, put stuff upstairs. I come down. It's been like 8-9 minutes. It's the same thing. It's just still going. And I'm like, it was a good 13-14 minutes before anything changed. I mean, the guitars would play, then the bass guitars would play. There's something else would play, and then the keyboards would play.
It's a jam.
It just that there was no vocals. I don't think that on the song I heard.
They for good reason.
Okay,
spread out their vocals.
Okay, spread them out because
they're not the best singers.
That's all right.
That's not what people are going to see.
They're playing music. I don't care. If people are playing music and having fun, that's all that matters. And if they're enjoying themselves, Nick, you missed the. I had some questions written down. It was
Nobody
basically
knows the answer,
it was like
though.
how many back hairs does Dave Matthews have? And he didn't know any of the answers.
No, I mean.
When's the last time he clipped his toenails? This guy had no idea.
I mean, yesterday.
Yeah, probably.
You don't know.
Let's
They're
see
not
how
that
Nick
bad.
does with the. Oh, but you'll
Like
the
I said,
answers.
Matt-
on
The answers
there.
are on there. He's not going to know the answers.
Matt will come in here and ace all of them.
Probably.
I know all about the yellow pants.
Tell me some stories that you have from playing. And please don't use venues or names.
Mm-hmm.
Use them all. Full
I'll
names.
tell you one,
We
and I
wanna
will not use the name.
Address
you
and zip
can't-
code.
I won't say the name. It was in Ocean City, but it was a place in Ocean City. I mean, I used to play a lot of different places in Ocean City. I was in a band called Schizophonic. So we were hired to play at this place in Ocean City, and we were booked there for like 4 days. And so, we drove up to Ocean City, we got there, we set up all of our gear and all this kind of stuff. And so the manager of the place came out and he was kind of a jerk to us or whatever, but he was,
I'm
like,
paying you guys. Fuck you.
yeah, he was just kind of had an air to him, and I had my lead singer had asked me to go get a marker to write out the set list, and I went to the bartender and they just looked at me and said, "What do you want?" I was like, would you have a marker by any chance? And they were like, maybe, I don't know, and just like totally ignored me. And I was like, what?
I get that at the bar down the street.
What?
The Emerald Tavern.
No, I'm not allowed in Emerald anymore.
Well, anyway, real quickly, that wasn't
But yeah, you
the
get
story.
that. You get that arrogance.
Oh yeah, and so I was like, all right, well, that's how it's gonna go. Fine, so let's go and play. So we start playing our stuff. The manager, and at the end of the first break, comes up and says, "Do you know any of this? Do you know any of that? Do you know any of this?" And we're like, "Well, no. This is what we do. This is our set list. This is what we do."
Practiced all of this other
Yeah.
shit that we prepared for you.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we do, and the agency that we worked for at the time, we were hoping, and I'm not going to say their name because they're big in Baltimore.
I know who they are.
Yeah, and don't even start it.
We use them. A
So-
lot of musicians have used the same kind of people.
Well, supposedly, you would think had told them what we do, you know what I'm saying, and what our songs were and what have you. So anyway, he said, "Do you guys know this?" And we're like, "No, we don't." It's like, okay, whatever.
What was it? What do they want to hear?
They wanted to hear like Steve Ray Vaughan and different stuff like that.
Brown-eyed girl.
I guess so.
Pink
And we were-
Cadillac.
we were like, okay,
I swear to God, I'm like, really? No, I'm not playing this shit. My father used to play this stuff.
She's a sweetheart.
I love Buddy. She's a famous dog on YouTube right now. She has over 700 views.
That's great.
In 3 days or something.
She's an absolute sweetheart.
Yeah, she really is.
So, but this is what we do. This, So anyway, we got done with it, and the guy, was basically saying, I just need you guys to play this, that, and this, and the other. He kept dictating to us what he wanted us to play. Nobody does that.
Yeah, you judge the crowd and you play to make the crowd happy.
I'm sorry, but this is not what we do. So anyway, long story short, at the end of the gig, he fired us.
Oh, nice.
We were still booked there for another 3 nights. We had taken off work.
Yeah.
We had lost money. He fired us.
You got a hotel room. You got all this shit.
So did you show up the next night, like just play and push him out?
He fired us, and it was the absolute. It would be. I can't say it, but it would be better if I could say the place because it's very well known and everybody plays there.
Can I say it? I have no affiliation.
No,
I don't either. But
I do, and I might actually call that guy later as an agent. But you got the gig through an agent.
We got to get through an agent. Okay. And so again, I mean, we were waiting in the parking lot ready to beat
called
the
your
guy's
agent.
ass. You know what I'm saying? Well, we did, and he did not back us up.
Yeah, they don't.
And there was a contract signed too. So if we would have reneged on that contract, we would have gotten in trouble. But the guy didn't.
Yeah.
Who fired us.
Did he still at least pay you for the night?
The night, yeah.
He did.
Well, that's why you
reluctantly.
Yeah,
You have to count the
vindictive
windows.
motherfucker. I'd get back at him.
Oh, we were upset.
No
and,
face, no case.
we were upset, and of
No
course,
face,
out
no
of
case.
emotion.
Damn, that's gangster.
No cop, no stop.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like I know exactly which bar you're talking about. And
Plead the fifth.
okay, they have a place underneath that has like 8 different beds, and generally it's for the bands, so you don't have to get a hotel, so you can go and play. We played that place, and then we played Bohager's, and then back to that place.
Oh, Bohager's.
So we would drive from the Ocean City, Bohager's, then back to Ocean City again, play again the same night. So it'd be 3 shows in 2 days, and then we would play. The Friday.
What was the
It was a lot of money.
the real big place with the palm trees up there?
Big Kahuna was
But
a
you
place
can't
there, but it's
fuck
not
over
there
this
anymore.
one bar because that's the guy that gave you that gig. If you fuck him over, he might lose all of the nights that he has scheduled there. So you can't beat the guy's ass, and he knows that, the owner of the club.
Yeah. So
Okay, maybe another story. You mean another one. What else?
Tell me more.
well, I think so. When we were touring overseas and stuff, with the
Iraq?
No, we didn't. I didn't go. I personally didn't go to Iraq, but we were to Egypt, Jordan, Turkey, Cuba, the Peninsula Circle. We would get on like maybe 20 flights in like 2 weeks. I mean,
That's insane.
Up and
I've never
down,
done
up and
anything
down,
like that.
Up and down, up and down.
And you were getting paid for that. So you went on overseas and did a lot of entertainment, like a comedy. Did you have other comedians? Did you get to meet people?
No,
other
I really
bands
didn't. No, I really didn't, because there would be people behind us or in front of us. You know what I'm saying? So they had already been there.
It's just a line.
I think at one point, Toby Keith had been there, right there. Right.
Oh, Toby Keith. All right,
Yeah.
everybody's
Rest in
dying
peace,
on us.
Toby Keith.
Anyway, so many flights, and when we got on solid ground, the world's spinning.
Oh, I've been on a boat long enough that where you get back on solid ground, you get that weird.
Yeah, and
You're in a restaurant. You're like, is this restaurant rocking? Nope.
exactly, and it was like that way.
Don't come a knocking.
Nice.
I don't have the greatest of seasickness, air sickness.
It may be it may be a musician's thing. I doubt it, but I have an equilibrium issue.
Yeah, I do. I get.
If I'm driving the boat, I'm good. If I'm driving the car, I'm good.
Yeah, but not if I'm riding.
Yeah, I can't be in the back seat. You can't be a passenger. Everyone's like, you're just making that up. I'm like, no, I really suck that much.
Yeah, I do.
I get an empty feeling in my gut. Everything's going to go wrong, and then it gets dizzy, and I have a headache for 2-3 hours afterwards.
I don't often trust other drivers. I don't like it either. I feel you on
Not
that.
the same thing, CJ.
It's like the
It's
motion.
like saying
man.
different.
It's like
that's
the
like
motion.
saying someone has cancer, and you're like, yeah, I hurt my finger.
My tummy
I hurt
hurts,
finger.
too.
Yeah. It's a little
It's
different.
like I hurt my finger at work.
This
today.
is
What
something
do you
him and
got?
I have been dealing with our entire lives.
Oh, that's rough,
Some guy in
man.
a Honda Pilot would not get out of my way. And it finally got the opportunity to get around him and, drive by him. So like the whole time he's in front of me, we're going like 65, 70. And as soon as it like opens up and I can get around him, like there was nobody in front of him, by the way. So as soon as I get around him, he starts hitting his fucking gas.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
I ended up having to
Fuck
fucking
that guy.
like,
It's just
I only needed to get up to like 85 to get around him.
But you shouldn't have had to.
No,
You
but
know?
I got up to 117
Holy
to
shit,
get around
bro.
him.
some vehicles only go like 90 5 or 100. They have limits. Like,
yeah.
I wouldn't know this, but from what I feel like, the blue truck that I drive has 100 mile an hour.
Yeah. But he tried to keep up with me, and it didn't work.
What type of vehicle do you have?
Acura TL.
Okay. So yeah, you can get it hustling a little bit.
Oh yeah.
It goes up.
3.2 liter V6.
What road were you hitting 117 on?
695.
695.
Dundalk area side of it.
Nice straight area.
I got pulled over there once,
Yeah.
going towards Essex, I guess.
You know what really pisses me
Where
off?
it opens up.
The MDTA police.
I have a buddy that works not as one of the police, but he works for MDTA.
So, question, jurisdiction wise, they're allowed to pull anyone over on highways, bridges, tunnels, and like toll roads, right?
Any toll facility
They gotta
roadway.
catch you first.
So 95, 695 east side at least. I don't know if they could do west side.
Yeah.
I think there might be a cutoff on where they can cut.
See, that's
they
the
can
thing.
pull
Like when
over.
you pull off of 95 going on to 695 west,
Mm-hmm.
like you're going north on 95 or whatever, you're basically going to the west side of 95. There's often a cop that sits, MDTA police that sits at the edge of that off ramp. I don't know if you've noticed that.
I'm not on the east side too often. Myself.
But they piss me off because that's their whole job is to be a fucking ticket pusher.
Right.
Like you're not a real cop. You're just a fucking meter maid.
Don't you
point.
make enough money off the tolls?
Yeah, and like why isn't
Tolls
your
are
lazy
ridiculous.
ass just sitting there at the fucking way station, dog? Like get out of here.
There's talk of the tolls going up. I've heard, and a lot, like going up to like $13.
What do you do during the day for your day job? Do you have something?
I'm a painter.
Painter,
Mhm.
residential or commercial?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I like that answer.
I mean, the main questions people always ask me when I say I am a painter is they ask that and they say exterior or interior. I'm like, yes.
Uh huh.
That's like a blanket statement. I paint what you pay me to paint.
Now
You know
the
what I'm
question
saying?
is do you paint things that you see, or do you just only paint like
Walls.
There'll be
Like as a
different
hobby,
job.
do you
That's a
paint-
mural.
Oh, as a hobby?
like do you paint pictures or
Not great,
okay,
but
you,
I've done stuff. I do a lot of wood burning.
A
dabble.
straight edge is an art of its own.
Yeah, I do a lot of wood burning. I enjoy that.
is that with a like a hand tool that you
Yeah.
carve out?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've seen videos and that looks really cool.
Yeah,
Kind
it's a lot of fun.
Soldering iron.
I've
Not
done
a soldering
some,
iron, but
it's kind of like a soldering
Yeah.
iron. Yeah, kind of.
They say that electricity is not. I just watched the Neil deGrasse Tyson thing about that.
Oh,
which
that guy,
Nick has
yeah.
some questions for you about. We generally do space facts. We'd like to do. I've had a lot of good words come back about space facts. Are you into space, outer space? I know you're not in outer
It's
space.
not more or less a question that I have. I just more or less have like 3 or 4 facts about space this
Yeah.
time.
Okay.
so
Now a moment. Holy shit on a stick.
leave that in.
You know what that sounds like?
That's a- and now a moment in Nick's space facts history.
The vacuum in space is so strong that it will make your blood boil, not from heat, but the negative pressure.
So the air comes out of it.
I did not know.
That's why you need
Yeah.
the big suit.
Sleeping in microgravity causes your hands to drift. You know, like
Oh,
Oh,
I've seen
right,
that.
yeah,
lift up
Yeah,
and fly
yeah,
away.
like you're just like hanging out, and that's how they sleep.
Right, because
but-
it's dead weight. I mean,
This is an interesting one. It's a little gross, but using a toilet in space means you have to put a vacuum cleaner like pipe on your genitals and anus.
Oh,
Oh, I do that
Like-
here.
really
Yeah.
suck it
Come on.
out.
yeah, but not for what we think it is.
Yeah,
what you're into, dude. It's your
It doesn't fit sometimes.
But
Sideways action.
the water that astronauts drink is actually their recycled urine and sweat.
Delicious.
You're in
Yeah.
good health.
They take all the bad stuff out, I'm sure.
Wow.
I do know that they also lose a lot of bone density because
They
of
do.
gravity.
Your muscles will atrophy.
Atrophy.
Atrophy. Your muscles will atrophy without gravity and leave your muscles weak and bones brittle.
Yeah, they have to come back and like do PT for months to
Yeah.
get back in, and they also gain a lot of radiation.
Yeah.
Like there's just radiation flying around in space, and they suck it all up.
Well, this is why I don't think we actually made it to the moon. Like, you know, like if you look at spacesuits and you go into the, well, where's the radiation suit? Where's the armor on the suits? And they were like, there is no radiation anything. There's no radiation blockers on the spacesuits.
No,
So like but to get
But
to,
it's if you're just up in space, it's not enough to give you radiation poison, but it is enough to increase your rate of cancer.
I don't know enough
kind
to
of
be
thing.
factual, but I feel like if you're on the moon, you're way closer to the sun and the radiation.
Depends where the moon is.
I guess so. Yeah. I
Depends on if you're on the dark side of the moon.
Ooh, nice.
That was a good album.
That was good.
Who sang that album?
Pink Floyd.
Oh man, I can't believe you actually know that.
Wow.
I can't believe it because you're amazing.
I mean,
that's why you're here.
Dude, that album sold like 100 million copies.
Come on. I've seen that album as an album.
I have
Like
two
I was
copies
gonna
of
say,
it.
yeah, but like that's not a thing anymore, and he's 25. So I was
Seen
whatever,
that album
Nice.
as an album.
impressed.
25, really?
Yes.
Yeah, you can't tell. He looks 48,
He's
right?
a baby.
Yeah. Oh,
He's
we
a
know, baby.
Get
He's
in
a
my
baby.
Get in my belly.
In my belly.
Was that CJ?
It was.
That was good.
The
I
one with the big
always
belly.
try to give CJ a good fat joke.
Yeah.
We're
And
gonna.
I
He
give
wanted.
him a short joke.
He won. Yeah, and I'm not even short. And he's not even fat. It's the best part. He won Nick's T-shirt, and we said we're going to sew two of our T-shirts together for him.
Both 2X though. We're gonna make sure.
Oh,
you get
both
them right.
2XL.
I actually do have a 2XL mini melt shirt.
Yeah. Ooh, sexy.
Yeah.
And I won't have to order
Where does
the shirts
pajamas?
anymore. Yeah, Moo.
You keep the money. I'll keep the baby.
That was a good movie.
when are the shirts coming in?
Well, I just got my federal refund, and I'm going to use some of that money. For
Shit. Thanks for reminding me. I have to do my taxes.
Yeah, April 14th. Do your taxes, people.
Yep. Don't forget, guys. Do it before you go see Matthews Dave Band on April 19th.
Uh huh.
Definitely. Maybe you can use some of your refund
Do
money.
you guys have a
the-
website?
We're on Facebook.
Facebook. Okay.
under that name?
Under that name.
Matthews Dave
Dave Band.
Band.
Yes.
Matthews with an S. Dave Band.
mhm.
And that, like, are there like other Matthews Dave bands? I saw a lot.
I don't think there's one that's called
It's-
that.
I don't. Yeah, I looked online and I didn't see anything else.
But there's other ones out there that
there's
are
there's
a lot.
Dave Matthews tribute band. That's different.
They're different. Yeah.
David
I'd
Matthews.
I haven't seen that. It's all the same Dave Matthews tribute. And there's one in New York. There's one in Arkansas.
Oh,
there's one.
They're all over.
They're all over the place. Generally, okay, so the podcast is going pretty good. Chris, if you have any people that you could, I know you just get this thrown at you. If you listen to it and you like it and stuff like that, and tell them to hit the download button.
Yeah.
I did provide the Spotify link at least.
There was a video I saw the yesterday, and it was of a guy dressed as Joker for Halloween. And instead of the "You want to know how I got these scars?" it was "You want to know how I got these scars?" It was hilarious.
And a little sexy. Okay. is the next gig April 19th, or is there anything prior to that?
We're just playing at the Still. We're booked there all the way till December.
Every month, once a month?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
We're trying to. Cause it's very difficult because the guys I play with are school teachers, their families, kids, soccer's, all that kind of stuff that happens.
Right.
And
Stuff gets in the way.
and it's difficult to nail it down. Myself, I have none of that, and so I'm usually very free anytime. You know what I mean?
I'll show up if you can be there.
Yeah, we're trying to work on our live stuff in a smaller setting, not so much more practicing, less gigs, to eventually get to the point where we're playing festivals in the summer, like the
Gotcha.
Tribeca, like the Towson Fair, whatever, those kind of things.
Damn right. I would
That's
love to
kind
see
of
that.
that's kind of what we're trying to push towards.
So I had one other story that just to share for the podcast, and that's your fault, Chris, that this happened. I put on Ants Marching, and I'm in the truck. I'm driving. It was like I was just, Nick just talked about the traffic. It was bad. People are idiots, cutting me off and stuff. So I put on Ants Marching. I'm playing with my only pen to write my notes down, right? I'm playing, and I'm banging the steering wheel, bop, 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 ba da bop, ba da bop, ba da bop, with my left hand as one drum, and the pen broke.
Oh,
All it didn't ink didn't go everywhere, but the pen was shot. It was like a zebra something pen.
okay.
It falls. Yeah, well, it fell apart because I was playing the hi hat and stuff with
Too hard.
on the steering wheel. So
And you didn't have another pen
Chris's-
ready to go.
yeah, Chris's fault. I did find another like a Bic in my backpack that I was able to. I was like, crap.
Didn't make the same noise though.
No, it doesn't have the clicky. It's the zebra's got this metal clip that comes down, and the metal clip has a plastic round nubby. When you hit it, it makes a tick and a click. But yeah.
Right. We had a great fire pit the other night.
I don't remember part of it.
okay, though. I remember all of it.
I was too drunk.
What happened? So, like,
Had a
how
great
many
time.
beers does it take to get CJ drunk?
I was drinking all day.
Well,
long.
there was more than you were doing the whiskey.
I was.
You
Oh,
were doing
man.
the whiskey.
But didn't you do something?
Nick, you're
I
in the
hope you
whiskey,
did
right?
something.
Yeah, we did a
Okay,
couple
yeah, I thought
yeah.
so.
How much would I have to pay you to take a shot of whiskey?
Amy, I just have to be in the mood to drink.
So you never do it.
Probably not. I mean,
I
Well,
had all the whiskey.
don't
I'm
shot
like,
it. Just,
I'm like,
just
"Ugh."
put it in a glass with some ice and sip on it.
I just don't drink at all.
Well, then nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's probably a good thing.
Probably better
Probably
off.
the best thing.
He's like passing out when he's
You'll
walking.
you'll remember your nights better.
As long as
But
I don't black out.
I was telling CJ I'm trying to get my backyard together because I'd love to have everybody over. I have a big fire pit and a big yard, and
Grill some.
I want to get a
stuff.
grill and
You can bring some of your veggie patties over.
whatever. I just-
Don't taint his grill.
Hey, I got my air fryer upstairs. I found it.
You found it.
still
Did you
in the
hook it
box.
up?
No, it's still in the box.
You're still microwaving your shitty
No, no,
patties.
I'm
Soggy
doing that.
patties, soggy plants.
So you'd be impressed. I'm doing it on the iron skillet.
Okay.
iron skillet.
Cast iron, baby.
So I don't always, but like if you're doing a hamburger, a fake hamburger thing, the microwave will get it warm enough that you can put it on toast, and the toast is crunchy. I know it's still gross, but
That sounds like a metal band. Iron skillet.
iron skillet. It
Live.
might be.
Live iron skillet.
Yes.
Tonight.
Maybe that can be the band name.
Iron
Tonight.
skillet.
Yeah.
Tell me something, Nick, other than you passing out and dying and shit. Give me something positive.
Doing a
news.
massive rollout, installing 100 Walgreens.
That's work. Give me something
freezers.
else. Give me something else.
That's really about it for the most part. I guess the biggest news is we're possibly moving.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. So,
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
how's your computer going? You had a fancy computer. Remember the Apple book?
Yeah, I have a MacBook. Still learning how to go about it. There's a bunch of commands and stuff you got to learn.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going Apple.
Um,
It's like there's no buttons that do like you're like I'll hit the X button. There's no X button. Are you a PC or Mac?
PC.
Yeah, PC myself.
Yeah. I've never used computers really at all, but I figured if I was going to learn on something, it'd
He's
rather
like,
be
I'll just
Mac.
buy the most expensive one I can find.
Yeah, I don't really use computers that much either. I just do everything from my phone.
This gets published on Monday, right?
Yeah, I actually didn't publish until I used to publish them Sunday night, like 11 o'clock, and I'm like, it's just not worth it. So this past one, I was in Virginia like all weekend. I finished it Sunday, but I was like, I'm gonna mess with CJ's stuff. I was gonna add music to it, but I
I noticed that disappeared.
It disappeared. I did pretty good. It was just not, he's like, that's too good for what Disco Biscuits does.
Too good.
Disco Bigots, isn't that?
That's what you call them.
Hey, wait, aren't you going to ask him a joke about like Connor does? Like, do you know a good joke? I'll tell one.
He does like to put you on the spot on that type of shit. doesn't
No,
he?
it's good. Nick, give me a joke. You can't use Helen Keller and you can't use the other one.
Yeah.
I gave him a good dead baby joke before. I'll tell you off air because it's already been published.
Most of the jokes I know are Gilbert Godfrey dirty jokes. It's from the Dirty Joke collection. So he rubs a bottle. Genie comes out. He says, I want to fix all of the bloodshed and trauma and homelessness, all the negative stuff. He shows that the guy shows the Genie the map and he says, he's pointing to the map. I want this fixed right here. All of this horribleness in this area. I want that fixed. The guy Genie says, that's beyond my powers. I'll grant you a new wish, a different wish. He says, okay, I've been married for 25 years and my wife has never given me a blowjob. Could you get that to happen? And the Genie says, can I see that map again?
And with that.
And that was the Gilbert Godfrey, R.I.P. Gilbert Godfrey.
Gilbert Godfrey.
We loved you.
Did you have fun on podcasts?
Yeah, I've never done this before.
What's a 6-letter word that starts with N and ends with R?
This is
Nagger.
I remember this from
people who
South
annoy
Park.
me.
South Park.
People who annoy me.
No, yeah, that was
Nag-
people who annoy me.
The proper answer is nagger.
Nagger.
No, sorry. So
I'm going to edit that one.
let me put it this way. What's a 6-letter word that starts with N and ends with R and is a race? It's
Got
NASCAR.
a laugh track. That's the best.
Oh, it's a race.
It's NASCAR.
NASCAR.
Woo! So it wasn't what CJ thought with the hood and all.
What?
Get the fuck out of here. I'm done. I gotta go home. It's 9 o'clock.
I think we're all done.
I'm done too. Chris, thank you for coming in. I'd
Thanks
love
for
to
having me.
Thank you
I
for
would-
joining
Thanks
us.
for coming by.
Looking forward to
There's
doing
more
future
future
stuff
time.
together.
Thank me for joining
this
you.
promoting.
I joined you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Nick. Promoting the still on April the 19th, 2024.
Matthews Dave Band.
Matthews
Still.
Dave Band.
Matthews Dave.
What time?
8 o'clock.
Thank you.
8 to 12.
Oh, well, you just show up the whole day, right? That's what you tell people.
8 at night.
How hammered can I get? Can you drive me home since you live here?
I mean,
Like
it's
right
possible.
around the corner?
It's very possible.
Hey, thank you for coming in.